Yeah, we got lots to say. Now here's Bobby and Matt.
Hey, welcome to the episode. We do have Bill Fagerbakke coming on, who is the voice of Patrick Star in SpongeBob, who also played college football, who also was Dauber in Coach. We've already done the interview. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, how unique is his voice, too, and how he can just go into that character.
And just that he played ball, so he knows ball.
Knows ball.
But also a big part of, and I don't have kids yet, but I've watched so much SpongeBob because that show's been on for 25, 30 years.
I know I can honestly say that I've watched a few of them over the years, but not that many.
Oh, I've watched a lot of them.
Now I'm very appreciative of it, and I'm going to go back and watch all the reruns from the last 20 years.
It's a great interview, so that's coming up. We were talking about Christmas before we actually started recording. I think that's a fun thing to revisit. So let's start with what you asked me. You asked me if I already got my wife's Christmas present.
Right.
Which I'm not going to say what it is now because she won't watch this, but they will message her and tell her. For me, are you a big love language believer?
I mean,
do you know about it?
Yes, like the different, different categories of love language. I'm definitely physical touch.
Oh, you are? I am not at all. Okay, so you do know about it.
I can tell that. Like, if I come up to dap you up, dude, keep your distance.
You're a physical touch, and I know what you do now because, again, I've said this before, but every time we have this show, I walk in, Castle gets up, gives me a big hug, and I know part of it is just for show now because, it makes me uncomfortable, but I also think that's just part of who you are.
It is. I'm a hugger.
It's both.
Everybody that I see that I actually recognize and I know, I'm going to go up and make a point to give them a hug, say what's up. That's just who I am.
Is that your giver? Is that also what you want from people? Physical touch? Because my wife's she loves time.
Yes, my wife's quality time too.
Yeah. Okay. So you know all of them. You're acting like he knows.
No,
good.
You asked me, do you know the love languages?
Yeah.
I was like,
but you acted like you'd never heard of them.
Physical touch.
No, you were playing it like, I don't know. I think, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, page 64.2 says physical touch is the labor
I read the entire book and I've been studying.
So what do you want from people? Which one?
See, I don't like gifts. You're saying in terms of the connection?
What is your love language of receiving? Is it physical touch?
It's
both.
From my wife, physical touch.
No, but from
other people, I just want to see them smile. I want to try to put a smile on somebody's face.
That's kind of affirmation.
I don't know what it is. Like, I try to bring an energy and try to get a response in a positive manner.
You're a big positive energy guy.
I'm a positive energy guy. If I can bring a little bit of positive energy to your day, then I've done my job.
Yeah, you're one of the most positive energy guys that I know. You and my friend Eddie are very positive all the time. Like, you just like to be around you guys. Brandon's like that too. You're just so positive all the time. Yeah, no, he is. But you're so positive. So you want to... From your wife, you want that. That's why you have 5 kids. But you want to give and you want to receive words of affirmation. For me, even though you don't want the words, I just take affirmation as you want to make people happy.
Yeah, I want to make people happy. I think words of affirmation would probably be a close second.
So I think you want people to have a reaction, like a happy, I think that's closest to words of affirmation.
Probably similar.
I'm gifts giving, gifts getting.
Are you really?
Both.
And what does that say about you?
I never got gifts as a kid.
When you break it down.
Never got gifts as a kid.
That makes sense.
So when someone gave me a gift, we grew up very poor. When someone gave me a gift, I was like, oh, they must really love me.
Yeah.
Because we don't get stuff.
Right.
Christmas, we didn't really get presents. We didn't really have Christmas. Like, we had the day, but it wasn't like a traditional watch on television Christmas where you wake up and get gifts. That very rarely happened. So when someone got me a gift, I was like, oh, this is crazy. They must really love me. Therefore, I thought if I can also get people gifts for the same reason, they'll love me. And I understand it's all rooted and it's probably not accurate, but I am an A+ gift giver.
I am the exact opposite.
I'll give you an example. I'm going to glaze myself for a second.
Yeah, glaze it.
Whenever I was looking when we were doing the jersey giveaways, I found that old Cowboys jersey of yours.
Greatest gift ever.
And I was like, this is the greatest gift ever. And I felt fulfilled because I found your old locker jersey from the Cowboys.
It was unbelievable.
But I was so proud of myself for that because I knew that you would like it. Like, that's my love language. That's me going, I really like you. I really respect you. And I've spent my time hopefully getting you something that you enjoy. So with that being said, my wife benefits greatly from the gift giving of me, but her love language receiving is not gifts.
It's not gifts.
No. And I rock gifts. A couple Christmases ago, she wanted an outdoor fireplace, but not for Christmas. She just mentioned it a couple times.
Right.
And I listened. And so we left for like 5 days and I had the whole thing orchestrated. They came in, built a full outdoor fireplace. And when we got back home, she was going to see it right outside the big window in the backyard. And the problem was, as we were coming back home, we were looking at one of my emails, had something to do with work. I was like, read this. And we got the notification from the person, hey, we just finished the outdoor fireplace.
Did she melt though? Did she?
She acted like she didn't see it, and I knew she saw it. She also can't lie.
Yeah.
So I didn't say it at first. I was like, I know you saw that. I was like, hey, did you see anything in that email? And she was like, I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree. So she said, yeah. And so A+ gift, bad way of getting it to her because I just should have hid my phone. But then people are like, don't hide your phone. That means you're cheating. But yeah, that's my love language. Kevin, what is yours receiving?
Probably words of affirmation. Yeah.
I feel shallow saying mine are gifts, but it is. It's giving and getting gifts.
Hey, everybody's a little bit different.
I know.
That's why there's
but
different
like when he
love
says
languages.
that, I feel odd about it because I'm like, man, I'm so like shallow.
Wait, but you wouldn't say words of affirmation are in the mix for you at all? Like somebody saying that they appreciate you?
I don't believe anybody.
Huh?
No.
Well, yeah.
And I think
guarded in
everybody's
that
out
sense.
to get something.
Do you think because yours
I
is like
can
a
see that.
physical thing? That's why you feel shallow instead of an emotional attachment to anything?
No, I just think it's a gift thing. Sure, I just think it's a gift. But physical, I don't like touch either.
See, I'm one of those people where it's physical is one thing, but I think the physical aspect for most men is emotional. And so I'm talking about, it's not the actual act of intimacy in the bedroom and all that. That's one thing, but that's separate than if you hold my hand, if you come up and put your arm around me and I feel loved in that sense, that for me is all I need during the day because I'm a physical touch is what is my true love language.
Were your parents big huggers?
Yeah, they were all big huggers, same way, right? That we are big personalities, huggers, very affectionate. All my siblings are the same way. And with my siblings, though, physical touch, the way we show each other love, especially with my brothers, is we beat the hell out of each other. That's what we did when we were younger. But it was a way to show, hey, I still love you. That's probably why we're so close still to this day.
We all are our parents or lack of parents.
Yes.
One of the two. So yours is words to get.
To get.
What is yours to give? What's the most comfortable to give?
Hearing you talk about it, probably the gift giving. I enjoy giving gifts. And sometimes I have to tell myself, like, okay, you're good. Like Christmas time, okay, you got them a couple gifts. You don't need to get them 7 things. Just get them a couple things and you're good to go. Because then I feel like I'm overdoing it.
Just like when you told us that you were really stressed out and it's really hard to pick gifts for a 1-year-old.
Yes.
Dude.
God.
That's what we
Who
walk
the hell
out
says
of.
that, by the way?
He has twins and they're not even a year old. He's like, I don't know what to get them for Christmas.
Oh, man. It's so difficult.
A string.
Literally, get them something to put in their mouth and suck on. Put a donut on a string.
Yes.
I mean, what is the matter with you?
It threw me off because I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I look at it and it says like 4 and over. And I'm like, what? 4
Buy it
and over?
anyway.
You're not going to know the difference.
I know, but then I feel like and then I overthink it and I just like go down this rabbit hole. And I got him some good stuff, guys, but it took me.
Got him a
I was in the store
PlayStation.
for a while. I'm like, this is for them or for me? I don't know.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Got him the new
gift giver.
Apple goggles, the $4,000 goggles. You're the worst what?
Worst gift giver. I mean, I'm thoughtful, but I panic because my wife, she's really hard to shop for. Over the years, you accumulate stuff. You can do the jewelry, you can do the purse, but I also will say, hey, what would you like? And she's like, you know me. I'm like, that is the worst thing you could possibly tell me. And then I go into gorilla mode where I just panic and start pressing things probably that she doesn't want, but you just buy
quantity.
stuff. Yeah, quantity for sure. For sure. There's been a few times I've crushed. Most of the time it's a failure. Or the other part is I'll get her a piece of jewelry that I think, look, spend some money on this. She's going to love it. And she'll go, I know exactly what happens when she opens a present and she goes, honey, I can't accept this. That means she doesn't like it.
That means she doesn't want to accept this?
Because there's been plenty pieces that have come in and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like the earrings I got her, she never takes them off, loves them. But anything that she's like, maybe I'll exchange this after, it's got to be a little bit removed about a week or two. And she's like, babe, I think maybe this is too much. Maybe I'll exchange it for the same exact amount.
See, who thought an NFL podcast would start with us talking about love languages?
Oh, dude. But Christmas is around the corner, and I'm just like, oh.
Have you?
And now I'm
gifts
not
for all
only
your
stressed
kids?
out. I'm not only stressed out about my wife. Now I'm stressed out about you.
Oh, you don't.
Oh yeah. Look, he just put. Yeah, I should be.
What about the kids? You done? Or does your wife do that?
God bless her.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's really important that I go make sure that she feels loved and taken care of because of all the stuff that she takes care of when I'm traveling, when I'm gone, kids. school, but then she also handles Christmas like a champ. She's on the Black Friday deal. She's on this, that, and the other a month ahead of time, and I'm not even.
Do you guys still deal shop even though you made a ton of money?
Oh, 100% she does. Well, dude, we've got 5 kids. You better deal shop. She gets ahead of it.
I don't know if you had them like working as well.
I don't shop. I don't. 100%.
They're out on. Yeah.
Get out there on the farm. Bale that hay.
Yeah.
Earn your allowance.
Okay. Well, where do we start? You want to go first? There's so many. There's 100 storylines. You want to go?
Sure, I'll go. Obviously, big injuries last weekend. Patrick Mahomes going down. He's the face of the league, and it's devastating anytime you see that, especially late in the year. But I would make the case right now that Micah Parsons' injury might be more impactful just as a season as a whole for the Green Bay Packers because they're in a position to go to the playoffs and compete, and he was such an integral part coming in, and also what he did for that defense was pretty remarkable. He had 12 and a half sacks on the season. The pressure rate was there, and now they lose their biggest weapon on the defensive side of the ball going into playoffs. I think that's going to hurt them going into playoffs in a big, big way.
Is the torn ACL the NBA's Achilles?
Yeah, you don't see as many Achilles in the NFL, even though Daniel Jones just said one.
Don't we think probably that was rooted in his leg injury to begin with? Because a lot of times those Achilles in the NBA, they'll happen when there's a calf in the strain or a strain in the calf.
Yeah.
And listen, what do I know? I'm not an MD. I am a PhD.
Yeah, you are, Ben.
So I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm the closest one in this room.
You're the closest one by far. So your thought is?
My thought is, well, it is very unfortunate. And especially the Chiefs were going to make the playoffs. Until that injury, the Chiefs were there.
Yeah,
they were driving. They were going to tie it, win it.
Yeah.
Remarkable. And I know as Pats fans, and mostly I would say you're a rational Patriots fan. You played for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Kevin is an irrational Patriots fan because he spent his whole life loving the Patriots. And it makes me happy to see that Patrick Mahomes still will not play a snap that he's out of contention, just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady never played a snap out of contention for the playoffs. Yeah. The thing was, if the Chiefs lost, Patrick Mahomes was going to play snaps out of contention. Sorry, he hurt himself.
He never has. And the crazy part, just to look at both of their careers, Brady did his in the 9th season. This is the 9th season. They've both, been to 3 Super Bowls. There's so many different comparisons that it's pretty wild.
Double goats, what I've been saying.
Double goats.
We're double goating them.
We're double goating them.
It sucks because, and I did see the update that Andy Reid said that Mahomes' injuries did not include other injuries around the injury, which hopefully is a quicker road to recovery.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that tear was any less significant, but the MCL wasn't damaged.
Right.
The other CLs, I'm not sure there are a lot of CLs around that ACL, MCL.
A lot of stuff going on there. Wasn't there an LCL?
Yep.
Hopefully he's able to bounce back. Because in next year's NFL, I have them number 1 in the power rankings. Next year's.
Yes, next year's number 1 in the power rankings.
Next year. Not right now. They got to fall out.
Way too early power rankings.
Yes.
You know, I just also say a December ACL makes it much more difficult to be ready to start the season because it truly is, with modern medicine and the ability to fix these things, it's a lot quicker in terms of your rehab and getting back on the field, but you don't want to force themselves in the lineup too early. So how much is that going to impact them starting next year and where they're going to be at? Because again, it's a long road to recovery. And the fact that it happened in December just kind of sets you back a little bit more.
You make a great point about the December because even if he is 100% from his injury whenever the season starts next year, he's not going to be 100% as he traditionally is as he goes through camp, practice, getting himself in shape. Like he's not going to be able to do that at the same level. So even if his leg is 100% by game 1, his body and mind will not be 100% because he doesn't have the luxury to get himself in shape.
Right. You're going to miss all OTAs, and most of that is going to be all toward your rehab, sense of urgency to get back, the focus on the knee. But then it's baby steps. Every part of that recovery is month by month. Where are you at? Constantly being reevaluated, and then you hit the ground running if you can get in there at camp, and it'll probably be very moderate in terms of his reps even in camp because they want to protect him.
I think the Packers are still a contender.
Yes.
But I don't think the Packers are a contender anymore. Yeah. I think Micah Parsons was the separator.
He was the X factor.
And that is really unfortunate because, again, we're also talking about, same with Mahomes, a December ACL tear.
Yeah.
So this season, not good. I did see Christian Watson will be playing. It looks like if he wants to play this weekend, he can.
Right.
Not that that's the same significance of Micah Parsons' injury, because it's not. You're looking at probably a top 5 overall defensive player in the league.
Right.
I think there's like 2 guys you'd put over him. Well, maybe just one. Maybe one defensive player, but
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Max Crosby is on a sucky team. If he was on a better team, maybe.
He's a savage. I mean,
but Surtain, Micah Parsons.
Yeah, but to be impactful when you're talking about the trenches itself, and also you always have to know where he is, because we used to go up against guys like that and we would turn the offensive line to him, but they would create singles. And if they create a single with him one-on-one, you better understand that the ball's got to come out. And that's the type of impact he has on a game, particularly in the mind of the quarterback.
They're still a contender, but I don't think they're a contender. That NFC is so muddled with good teams.
Yeah.
There's like 7 or 8 of them that all could probably win the freaking Super Bowl.
How about the NFC West?
Which takes me to my power rankings. Thank you for bringing
power
that up.
rankings.
All right, power rankings. Here we go. Number 5. And I just bet a bunch of money on this team to win the Super Bowl because I like their odds of getting the number 1 seed. I don't think they'll get it, but I think they have a decent shot. And if they get a number 1 seed, I think they have a chance to win it. They're getting healthy. They're not going to get their biggest. They're not getting Fred Warner back, and I'm talking about San Francisco.
Yeah.
But I do think they are becoming stronger as the season goes. At number 5, I have San Francisco at 10-5.
I like that.
They will win next week against the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll put them at 11-5 with 2 games to go. I put $1,000 on San Francisco to win. What is
the
it?
odds?
They're 10-4. Excuse me.
Odds got to be great.
They're high, so it was $1,000 to win like 21,000.
That's a good bet.
And I do feel like San Francisco can, if things fall right, win the championship. I do think they can freaking go to the Super Bowl and win. But things have to fall right. I just like their odds a whole lot. It's not even that I'm a big San Francisco guy.
Yeah. But you're definitely going to be rooting for them in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, hard. I've got 2 significant bets out right now, and both weren't because I thought they were the best teams. I just like the odds, and that was San Francisco now in the NFL and Georgia Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
In college football. Okay. I'm not a Georgia fan, but I like where they fell. I think they're good enough to win it, and they were like 4th.
Really?
Yeah, overall. Ohio State was 1, Indiana was 2. At 3 was
Oregon?
Possibly Texas Tech. I don't know where it is now. Maybe Tech. Not sure. Not what we're talking about.
The money line. Sorry.
At number 4, I have Buffalo at 10-4.
Buffalo. Big win this last weekend.
Big win.
And the fact that they were down 21-0.
You hate to see them go down. You guys didn't, Pats fans, but let's remove your Pats hats.
No, yeah, remove it.
Take your Pats hats off.
It's gone.
You hate to see Buffalo constantly fall in the first half, which they're doing a lot.
A lot. I mean, to be down 21-0 on the road and then just roar back 5 straight possessions, I think, with touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I mean, and Josh Allen.
I feel like that's Josh Allen going, wait a second, young feller.
Yeah. You guys, I know you guys are overlooking me. I am reigning MVP, and I'm going to show you why. Because I'm going to go and put on my Superman cloak, and I'm going to go out and dominate.
And he's doing it without, I hate to say any other weapons, but without a traditional number 1.
Right. I mean, his best weapons on the outside, honestly, are Dalton Kincaid and Dawson
both
Knox.
Tight ends, yeah.
Yeah, both tight ends. They're really good. They're in a lot of 2 tight end sets, but those are their most dynamic pass catchers. And that's crazy to think about. It was the same thing why I think he won the MVP last year, because they didn't have that alpha male on the outside.
Where Lamar did.
Oh, yeah.
And that was held against him. That Not even on the outside, but he had, and James Cook is good, but James Cook in the minds of folks is not Derrick Henry.
Right.
I think now he's getting close. But yeah, I have Buffalo at 4. At 3, I have the Broncos. It's hard to put them at 3. I just never, they're 12-2.
They're 12-2.
They are what their record says they are, as a wise man once said.
Yes.
They're 12-2. And it's just 1 possession wins. And I know it was an 8. They won by 8 last week. But they're 12-2, so you can't deny that they're good.
And Bo Nix probably had his best game.
And he played, it was full Bo Nix.
Against a quality opponent. I mean, they were being aggressive on 4th down. That throw that he had to Sutton down the sideline on 4th and 1, that he hit the big play, that was unbelievable, textbook.
I also feel like Bo Nix is able to play better now because that defense has always been good. I think they're even better now. And I think with the ability to know, if I screw up, you play a little freer. I think you could speak to this. If you know your defense has got you,
right,
you can relax and play a little more free offensively.
For sure, but it also that also goes over in the offense and how they call it and how Sean Payton was aggressive in fourth down around that midfield because he knows this defense will get us off the field and make a stop, get us the ball back. And so you can be more aggressive with how you call the game.
Seattle at 2.
Seattle at 2.
Which, by the way, if I back up to the Broncos for a second, I think we got a big game coming up between the Broncos and Jaguars. That's this game. That's a massive game.
Massive game.
Jaguars are good.
They're really good.
Liam Cohen, he's got a shot to be the coach of the year.
100%.
And that's crazy from the first Duval.
That was one of the best lines ever.
To see all these young coaches, they're kind of killing it.
Yes.
So the Jags are good. They didn't make the list, but they're good.
Oh yeah.
Their colors are terrible though.
Yeah, they're just a tough team to look at for sure.
And they have uniforms that look like gumball machine, terrible uniforms. And then they actually have, but when they're really like bright, I don't know what color they are. What is that?
Turquoise?
Oh,
it's
that
like
ain't a good
turquoise
color.
blue.
It just isn't a good. They should rebrand. They should rebrand the color.
Just give me a little bit more of the Jaguar color.
Yeah,
Black
give me
Jaguar.
a solid.
But I mean, also Trevor Lawrence, man.
Awesome game.
Awesome game.
Running and throwing.
What do you have? 6 touchdowns, four passing, 2
Love
running.
to see it. Number 2, Seattle.
Yes.
And this is where it's interesting because I put the Rams at 1. Mm-hmm. The best thing about it is the Rams and Seahawks play Thursday night. Weekend. What a Thursday night game. What a meaningful Thursday night game.
I mean, they both hate the fact that they have to play on Thursday night, but they're familiar opponents. They're within the division, so they'll know each other very well. So the game plan, they'll understand how to approach this thing. But I would love to see it on a Sunday where the game plan becomes more evolved as the week goes on because these Thursday night games suck. But NFL couldn't be happier.
I do have the Pats at 6, so they're honorable mention. Sorry, boys. It wasn't a good loss. It was a good loss if they played close and lost to Buffalo. It wasn't a good loss to go up that much and then have them come screaming back over the top of you.
Yeah, it's really defensive side of the ball. That's where you start to question it and go, man, five straight possessions with touchdowns, and you go, we've got to get a stop.
I mean, give me some offense. Give me some offense, though. Other than that one play, that one run where he's playing lead blocker.
Yeah, Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't get anything going
up a little bit. They didn't play free. They didn't play like they were having fun anymore. And you could tell it was on their mind like, holy crap, can we actually win this thing? And then they played scared, puckered up a little bit.
I think inexperience. Mm-hmm. We'll leave it at that. You know my thing on second-year quarterbacks?
Yes, I do. Where's Chicago in that list?
They're not. They'd probably be 7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I only put the Broncos up there because they've only lost 2 freaking games. It's hard for me to put the Broncos up there.
You have to put the Broncos up
That's
there.
That's why I did it.
Yeah.
That's why I did it.
I'm so proud of you.
Am I a believer? No. Do I think someone can go into Denver and beat them if they don't get the 1 seed in the first round? Yes.
Patriots, Broncos in Denver this week. Who would you take?
In Denver?
In Denver.
I'm probably going to go with the Pats.
I'm probably going to go with Denver. That's a tough place to play. I'm just saying it's about as loud of an environment that I've ever been in.
Do you lose your oxygen there? Is that a thing?
No.
What if you're a running back or a cornerback? Because you weren't having to run a lot as a quarterback.
Oh, I would run for my life. What are you talking about? Blow the whistle! Blow the whistle! Jesus! Tumerville's coming. No, I mean, you never really felt the effects because we'd go up on a Saturday, get there, and I don't think we were there long enough to really feel that impact. And they have oxygen on the sideline if you need it, and you see guys go over. But I don't know of anybody that I played with that really fell out because of the altitude or anything like that, or dizziness and had to come out of the game. So I don't know how much that is a factor, to be honest with you. The ball does fly a little bit more, though.
Noticeably?
Oh, noticeably.
Were you ever a smelling salt guy?
Oh, dude, I'd rock a smelling salt.
Pre-game, mid-game? Really?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Right on the sideline. These guys would walk around and they get one of those little Gatorade plastic cups and they'd throw like 4 of them in there and like, you want to hit? And just light you up and your eyes would become watery and all that stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, jolt of energy. Wakes you up.
You want to know another gift? These chairs.
I am so thankful. Like, we immediately talked about it when I came in today. I mean, I'm not sliding down like
Last
this.
week, I know it was a struggle. I even saw in the videos, Castle would slide down.
Like and I'm propping myself back up. I'm propping myself back. These, I mean, Like I said, just send me the bell. Because I don't want to accept that gift. I want to be able to be a contributor myself.
No, it's all good, buddy.
Man.
Just me to you.
Oh, God.
Strong, stable chairs that we don't slide down.
It feels right. I mean, big.
I'm glad you feel good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
When you feel good, I feel good.
Yeah, well, that's then what I want. You talked about...
All right, go ahead. Next one up.
Yeah, you talked about who should win the Coach of the Year. I think it's an incredible year for Coach of the Year because you've got Vrabel with the Pats. First year there, obviously, they won 4 games last year. He's done a remarkable job. Ben Johnson with Chicago, how can he not be considered one of the coaches of the year? Sean Payton, what he's doing with Denver. Now, he's been there for a while. He's been able to construct that roster the way that he's wanted. But I don't know if anybody predicted them to be in the position that they're in right now to begin the year. Liam Cohen, 10-win season. But then the other guy that is on the list that...
Say it.
Mike McDonald.
I thought you said Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan, too.
He's never won it.
He's always in the mix every single year.
Never won.
And if they factored in all the injuries that they've had and Brandon Ayuk not playing this season, their number 1 wide receiver, quarterback goes down, Fred Warner goes down, Bosa goes down, and they're still always competitive regardless of their situation. He's a hell of a coach.
If you're giving the award today, who do you give it to?
If I'm giving the award today, I'm going to go with Vrabel. I just think what he's done with a very, very young team and what they've been able to do this year and the consistency, 10 straight wins or whatever it was, he was super competitive against the Bills. They obviously lost last week, but they've already beat them, especially after an 0-2 start, is quite remarkable. So the turnaround, and you could make a case for any of these guys.
I'll make a case for somebody else.
Who would you make a case for?
I would go to Denver.
Denver and Sean Payton.
Yeah, because I hate to penalize people for how they set themselves up for success.
Yes.
The Broncos literally have 2 losses.
Right.
They're 12-2, a second-year quarterback. And yeah, you're right. He's now been there, 3 years? Because he came 1 with Russ, or he's been there 4 years?
Russ, and then Bo Nix came in, so he was there, I think 2 years with Russ maybe.
Whatever the case is, I don't think we penalize him for that. I think you give the coach of the year to the person who's coaching the best this year. And I think a 12-2 Broncos team, if we were given the award right now, a number 1 seed, if it were right now, the Broncos would have the number 1 seed. I think you give it to them.
That's fair.
What do you got?
Third year.
Yeah.
Third year. Yeah.
So that's why I'd give it to Sean Payton. But it is weird because you always want to give it to somebody new. But Belichick was screwed out of Coach of the Year awards because people were tired of Belichick winning the award when he was the Coach of the Year.
Yeah. If your record reflects it and you're winning games regardless of how you do it, in the NFL, it's difficult to win games week in and week out and be consistent and do it in such a manner that they've done it this year. So I agree with you. All
right, so I'm going to go now to the Jeffrey Simmons story as my second story. So Titans defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, which, by the way, we don't talk a lot of Titans here.
No, we don't.
Because they suck.
To put it blunt.
They suck. The Raiders suck. The Giants pretty suck.
Yeah, they're pretty sucky.
Are those the 3 worst teams?
Like Cardinals?
Cardinals.
A little
Cardinals
more,
are competitive,
yeah, you're right. And Jacoby Brissett, he goes and just chunks the ball.
Dude, he's a baller.
Yes. Jacoby Brissett
he has earned himself another 6 years in the league for sure.
Yeah.
He might be Phillip Rivers if they need a call someday. They're going to call Jacoby Brissett and say, dude, can you come hold down the fort?
They're bad, by the way. We're not saying they're good.
Yeah.
They don't suck. I think that
Saints
suck tier. No, they won 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck playing tough too, dude. Nitty gritty. You see him run. He getting clobbered.
Yeah. The Saints did suck, but they don't suck. I think it's those 3. I think the Browns don't suck either because their defense doesn't suck.
Yeah.
The Raiders are awful. The Titans are awful. The Giants are pretty awful.
The Browns lost.
The Jets. Oh, yeah. Good point. The Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets are a suck. So those are
the Browns did lose to the Titans, by the way.
They did. Those are in the suck group. I'm not putting the Browns in the suck group, though. I'm putting them in the very bad group.
Okay.
Because
they still suck.
Defensively, they're good. I think the defense is finally like third quarter, like, what are we even doing? Like, why are we even playing?
Yeah, but isn't it the point of the game to win it?
I hear you, but Myles Garrett's about to set the sack record.
I know. He's awesome. I didn't say he sucks.
Well, I don't think Jeffrey Simmons sucks.
I don't think he does either.
Jeffrey Simmons is awesome.
Every NFL team has good players.
Yes, except the Raiders.
Except there's some that are better.
Jeffrey Simmons' home was broken into while the team was in California. This is while they were playing the 49ers. And I will say the Titans did show a little heart in that game.
Oh, yeah. They fought their ass off.
They did.
Yeah.
So I do want to give them a suck cookie.
Yeah.
Have a little suck cookie.
Yeah.
his house was broken into. According to Metro Nashville PD, the burglary happened shortly after 7 p.m. local time when at least 6 suspects entered after smashing out window glass. Multiple items were taken. Team security is working with Metro Nashville police. The veteran defensive tackle took to social media to report the burglary and even post a video of the suspects. According to police, Simmons called authorities when he arrived home from California early Monday morning from ESPN. So, question. When you would leave town, because everybody knows your schedule.
That's exactly right.
Would someone always be at your house?
No. And looking back, and I feel like it's been more recent where you've heard Mahomes, Kelsey, there's been these string of burglaries that have gone on where they go in, rob people's houses, and they somehow know their schedule.
Joe Burrow. They know they're not there because they're playing in a different city.
Right, and that's the scary part. And I feel like it wasn't as prominent when I played, but recently you hear more and more of these athletes in their homes being burglarized just because people know their schedule. And that was always a concern. That's why I got my dog when we went down to North Carolina and got a protection dog. A lot of that was because when I'm not home, you want someone there to protect your family or at least feel like you have an extra layer of security. Because everybody, like the NFL does a great job. They come in, they'll do a full assessment of your home for free and tell you where some weak spots are, where to maybe reinforce it, suggest different types of security, whether it's cameras, this, that, and the other. So they're aware of it, but at the same time, when they know that you're gone and you're not home, then there's an opportunity there, and that's just scary.
2 things. One, if I'm ever on the road or if I have tour dates up, and I haven't toured in 6-8 months or so, I always have somebody in my house. And I'm not victim blaming at all, and I'll get to the point in a second. Someone's always at my house if I'm not here because I know that if someone knows where I live and I publicly am not there, I'm going to always have somebody there. So we make it a point when we're not here, somebody is always at the house.
Right.
Again, not saying that he messed up by doing that, but I don't think it was somebody random that knew he was gone. I think it was inside.
Yeah, that's the scary part too.
Because you're not
workers that working at the house, anybody that knows your kind of schedule when you're gone, anything like that.
You would think if you're breaking into somebody rich and famous's house, there's a great security or there's somebody in the house. Somebody must have known there was nobody there. It was so inside that I think that's what happened. Well, one of those 6 knows somebody that is on the inside.
And the other crazy part is, like you said, you know these people have security in some form or fashion, a security system, cameras, all the different stuff, and you're still like, dude, I don't care. I'm going to figure out a way in, get into your house, and take what I want to take.
Unless you don't need to figure, unless you know. Because you're on the inside.
Yeah.
How to bypass, where the cameras are, what to cover, and that nobody's there.
It's crazy.
It sucks. It's
really scary too. There's not a worse violation than somebody breaking into your house or taking your stuff.
I remember I got broken into once while I was on the air, and my house got robbed. And I came home, and I opened the front door, and obviously they didn't come to the front door. And there was glass all over the kitchen. And I thought, did I drop a glass? I was so confused as to why there was glass all over the floor. I didn't even look at the living room yet because the living room, a lot of stuff was stolen. I was just in this bewildered state of, I don't remember breaking any glass this morning. And then I look up at the window and there's a hole in the window and I think, did a bird fly? It's this hole, you're trying to unwrap it all in like a few minutes.
Yeah.
Did a bird fly through and crash? And you're looking for a dead bird. And then as soon as you look to the living room and I see that TV, PlayStation, all this stuff was gone.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God.
Yeah.
And then, yes, it's extreme violation.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in college, Lauren, my wife, now she's my girlfriend then, we were watching a movie upstairs. We're at my apartment, and we had an apartment, and we were the last unit before you backed up into the alley where you'd come in and park, but it was about a story and a half up. And so we're watching a movie. I just nodded off for a second, and the next thing you know, you heard this crash. I woke up to this crash, and Lauren said, it sounded like somebody jumped on our balcony area. So I put her in the bathroom, tell her to call 911. And I'm sitting there, and my roommate, Brody, was gone for a baseball tournament, but I was like, did he come back? Like, it's college.
You start making excuses for the way you're feeling. Yes.
Because somebody is not being discreet downstairs. They're in the place. They're going around the living room. You can hear the kitchen cabinets opening up, shuffling through, and I don't know if they're making a sandwich.
You're hearing all that?
I'm hearing it all. So I finally knock on the door. I said, did you get a hold of the police? She's like, they put me on hold. I'm like, oh my God. So I said, lock
Your
this
call is
door.
very important to us.
So now, next thing, and there we had the stairwell that would come up to the 2 bedrooms upstairs. His room was here. Mine was right as you came up the stairwell. Well, somebody starts charging up, and I flipped this massive chest over, and I said, hey, whoever it was didn't care that I did that. They run up, and they kick in my roommate's door. Well, he's not there. They kick it, and at that point, I knocked on the door. I said, we got to get out of here. I opened up the bathroom window. There was this little screen. I knocked that out, and there was a fire escape. We go down the fire escape, run out to the front of the building, and then we had to wait. And I said, you walk down to where there was a party going on down the street, walks down there. Long story short, within 25 minutes, Department of Public Safety, which is the private security force there at USC, they show up. And I said, are you responding to our call to LAPD? And they're like, no, we're responding to the apartment building right next to you. I said, well, we've called LAPD. They go back, guns drawn. The dude came right through our sliding glass window. He jumped up on there, smashed it through, took PlayStation and all the different stuff that he could grab. Then he went in the kitchen. There's knives all over my buddy's room. Like, so they called him a hot prowler. Then he jumps over, and some poor girl was in her apartment. He breaks into her place while she's there, runs into the bedroom, locks the door. And
did he barricade himself in? Or did he get all the way out?
Oh, he got all the way out of our house because I was gone.
Yeah, but in that other apartment, how did they get him?
They didn't get him.
Oh, they never.
So I was sitting there at one point, and some dude comes down the stairwell, and he's got this big backpack on, and he's looking around like this, and he sees me, and I'm probably 45 yards away, and he takes off running down the street. I was like, that was so strange. And within a few minutes, that's when the Department of Public Safety came up, and I said, I don't know if he's a suspect or not, but he came out of that building a little while ago and took off running. They never found him, anything.
He got away with all the stuff?
All the stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pure violation, scary, like just.
Yeah, then you're always nervous it's going to happen.
You never want to go back to that apartment, right?
Time for the weekend preview presented by DraftKings. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Let's do the 3 big matchups this week. Rams at Seahawks Thursday night. Mr. Castle, you can go first.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home. Sam Darnold overcomes those big games, big game jitters. No Devontae Adams. I think he's going to have significance in this game because he's been balling. He's got 14 touchdowns on the year, big part. And now that they can maybe just focus on Puka Nacua, even though they've got obviously other guys going, but I'm going to go Seattle at home.
Let's get the monkey off Sam Darnold's back.
Yeah, man, I want him to win a big game.
Me too.
Just to shut everybody up.
12th man. Seattle's going to be loud as crap.
Oh.
I'm taking Seattle as well. The Rams. This is the game of the week.
Without a doubt.
Rams are the worst odds. So the pick to win the Super Bowl. They're
the worst
right now. No, sorry. They have. It depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
You're going to make the least amount of money.
That's
so
what you're
they have the best odds. You're going to make the. So to me, I see the worst. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
So that they are the favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they're really good. And Matthew Stafford is probably going to be the MVP.
Right.
Man, it would be such a big win for Sam Darnold.
Huge win.
I'm taking the Seahawks as well over the Rams Thursday night. Packers at Bears. This game just happened 2 weeks ago, but they are playing now in Chicago. They were in Lambeau last time. Who do you got?
Gosh, this one's a hard one to pick. I'm gonna go with Chicago at home. I think they're playing really good ball. Even if you go back and watch that first matchup that they had, Caleb Williams underthrows the ball in the back of the end zone, but he's open. It was either to go ahead or to tie it up. And I just think that Chicago at home, the way that they're playing, no Micah Parsons is going to have an impact on this game. I'm going to go with Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears too. So we're aligned here. I'm going with the Bears simply because these teams are both good. Nothing screams split like two really good teams.
Yes.
That are playing 2 times in 3 weeks.
2 times in 3 weeks. So you're gonna understand what they're gonna try to do, right?
If one of them was heads and shoulders above the other, I think I could possibly go, Packers going to win them both. But I think the Bears are a really good team.
I do.
Probably 7 in the power rankings.
Yeah.
But I don't go to 7.
7.
Yeah, I don't go to 7. Jags at Broncos.
Jags at Broncos. I think this is going to be another great matchup.
What a week, right? These are 3 awesome games.
Awesome games. I'm going to go Broncos at home. I've all year have been like, can they keep winning like this? Can they keep doing that? The way that Bo Nix played last week against a really good opponent at home, they've that defense is relentless. I mean, I'm going to go with the Broncos at home.
Give me that gross Jaguar blue-green.
Teal, by the way.
Even worse.
Teal.
Even worse. Trevor Lawrence for MVP. Let's go.
Trevor Lawrence for MVP.
That's right. I'm going with the Jags. It'd be a huge win for them. That was the Weekend Preview presented by DraftKings. When your team hits the end zone, you could hit the payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code TUSAY, like our show name, Lots Tusay. One word, TOSAY. Bet $5. Get $200 in bonus bets when your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Hey, Bill, we were just talking about the SpongeBob movie coming out, but I just want to introduce me and my friend Matt here. I'm Bobby Bones. This is Matt Castle. We're both massive fans of you in different iterations, so thank you for coming on with us.
It's my pleasure, Bobby and Matt.
I do want to start, if you don't mind, talking about Coach. I've seen every episode of Coach. I watched Coach as a kid. I bought the DVD set when I was a mild adult. I love Coach. It comes up in my algorithm now, like clips of Coach. Can you tell me how you got on that show?
Well, I was living in, sorry, there's a timepiece here at the hotel. I was living in New York doing theater, since that's what I had studied. And I just went through the typical auditioning process that actors go through to get on a TV show, which was kind of crazy because I'd never done TV before. So that brought me out to LA, and show kept getting picked up, and I'm an Angelino now.
I think I remember reading that the character that you played on Coach was based off of maybe a coach that you had at Idaho. Is that true? Is that an actual true story? And who was the coach? And tell me the background there.
Yeah, when I was, I went to Idaho to play football, University of Idaho in Moscow, and there was a graduate assistant we had, and his nickname was Tuna. And you know, when you're auditioning for a character, you're looking for a way to connect to the material and to that very specific character. And I remembered Tuna fondly. He was one of those graduate assistants that was somewhat conspiratorial, who would say, okay, so listen, guys, we're really going to have to kill it during scout team today. So I'm going to take a little easy on you here in these drills to, you know, and stuff like that. And the way he talked. So that was where I chose to connect to the character. And I don't know what happened to his name was Al. I don't know what happened to him. I did hear at one point he had heard that was the inspiration for Coach, and he wasn't that happy about it. So I'm sorry, Al, if you're out there, but I enjoyed it myself.
That's funny. So the juxtaposition of being an athlete at a high level, you're playing at a D1 school, and also being in theater, how were you so good at both? Because both consume you to get better at.
Isn't that interesting how, you know, it's that whole thing that I think athletes often have an affinity for, which is that performance focus and attention to detail. And so when I quit football after my knee got blown out, which was a very crazy circumstance because it was during spring ball my sophomore year, and I gave up the scholarship and I just came back to school not knowing what to do with myself. And I ran into another guy who had quit, and we used to sing in the showers, drive everyone nuts. And he said, hey, Willie, they're doing a musical here. We should go try out. And I didn't even know that they had a theater department at Idaho. I just said, oh, okay, I'll go. And fortunately, I enjoyed singing in high school and stuff. So I got in the show, and like 3 days later, I went, oh, this is my deal. This is my jam. So lucky for me. And I still thank that guy every time I see him. He is a judge in Boise, Idaho. But it was a crazy kind of integration for me, and it happened quite suddenly.
Do any of your old teammates or coaches, when they run into you and you know they know you now as Patrick Starr, that person, do they say, oh yeah, that definitely tracks? Or they're like, I never would have imagined this for you after football?
You know what? I think the latter is definitely in ploy. in play for a lot of guys. Like, what? One guy, Tim Lopano. He was a running back coach, and I read this in a newspaper that someone had mentioned it to him, and he went, "That guy that I played with is on that show," that's interesting to see how people react.
When you were in high school, you played multiple sports. Were you like the best athlete in your town?
Oh no. I was just a big lunk. And I was lucky enough to have a couple of really great coaches, including for track, who was also the head football coach, but he was still is a magnificent throwing coach for shot put and discus. And I fell in love with that. And I loved throwing the discus in particular, and then enjoyed basketball, of course, too. It was really good for me. And I think it's really good for a lot of young people to play team sports. And I, to this day, and in fact, as I get older, I realize how crucial the team element of football is. A magnificent team sport. And that mentality really helped me, I think, thrive in theater, because theater is such an ensemble effort. And, you just, the more you can fulfill, your duties, but also be supportive of those around you, the better everything goes. And that's been very important in my life.
What was your first time on set like when you're going in to actually film something? Is it kind of similar to the anxious butterflies you get when you're playing in a football game, or what was that mentality like for you?
Yeah, those butterflies, the anxiousness, the anxiety, and so you got to find your way through that to be able to focus on what it is you want to do and achieve. But kind of like football, where the first play and it goes away and you're in the game. It's kind of like that with live performance too, which Coach very much was, working in front of an audience. So that it was definitely related to that. Yeah. And I think that's part of the thing. Athletes like to perform.
I asked this question earlier about Coach, but I want to ask you the same thing about SpongeBob. The genesis of getting on that show, was it another random audition? I record myself doing all kinds of stuff, and you just send it off, and then you never hear from anybody ever, and it's one of those things. Is that what happened here?
It's a void, isn't it? It's just, I'm casting this into some weird digital nether world and does anyone ever even, are they aware of it? It was the SpongeBob audition. By that time, I had I had kind of stumbled into voiceover in a way. My agent called me up one day and said, "Hey, listen, they have a breakdown for a cartoon dog on Beethoven, which was going to be a Saturday morning cartoon based on the film. And they say they want the dog to sound like Dauber from Coach. Do you want to go read for it?" And I said, "Oh, well, sounds fun, but what if I don't get it? That would be depressing." But I got it, and that kind of led to, because that's a very difficult path to enter voiceover. It's there are limited opportunities for newcomers, so that allowed that door to open for me, and that led to me then auditioning for other cartoons, doing a few series, and then I got an audition for this crazy thing called Sponge Boy, and with these fantastic drawings, and but unlike typical voiceover auditions, mind you, this is 97. Instead of being in a studio, it was in a conference room, and it was this quiet, unassuming fellow named Steven Hillenberg, who had a little black cassette player and a microphone attached to it. And first he played me the voice of Sponge Boy, who was Tom Kenny, and who I had met and worked with before. And he said Patrick is his friend, and so should be different from that. And that was perhaps the luckiest day of my life. So I was able to enter this job where I love the characters so much, and I love my castmates and love the whole process.
From that first Patrick recording session that you did, how close is the voice that you did for that recording session? How close is that to what actually is the voice of Patrick? I mean, has it changed or evolved at all?
No, that's a great point. For instance, if you watch the pilot of Star Trek, you'll see Leonard Nimoy's performance as Spock to be quite different from what it evolved into when the show settled in. And I think a lot of us, when we do a pilot of something, there's a certain amount of, I hope this is it, and I think listening to the pilot, it's close, but vocally it's slightly different. Patrick didn't have a lot to do, but man, I love that cartoon, the pilot. It's only, I think, 8 minutes long, and in many ways, I believe it's a perfect cartoon.
I feel like Patrick Star, in a way, matured like Steve Urkel did, which he wasn't really meant to be the whole part of Family Matters. He wasn't meant to be as main of a character, but he was so undeniable in his character and playing that role. I feel like Patrick is the same kind of person. Patrick is so freaking fun. You do such a great job that he, over time, then became almost an equal star, except his name just wasn't on the show. Did you slowly feel Patrick Star being added more and more as the show ran because people loved him so much?
I love that. That's one of the great things about television. And when it's right, when the cast is right and the writing is right, because you, as you say, you evolve and you evolve together with the writers and what they are making sense of as they move along. And I think one of the key things with SpongeBob and Patrick was that it gelled. The relationship between those two characters gelled in a wonderful way. And Tom Kenny is such a freaking genius. Time and again, I mean, SpongeBob just like is just so kind of intense and manic, and then Patrick he lays the groundwork for Patrick to have some beautiful dopey comment, and I love those moments. But Tom's doing a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Yeah, you and Tom Kenny have known each other for a really long time. What's something that you could tell SpongeBob fans that they wouldn't otherwise know about him?
I guess most of the deeply rooted fans of Tom Kenny know that he is a freakish music fan. He can tell you virtually anything about every recording he's ever heard regarding who played lead guitar, who produced it, what they worked on before, who composed it. It's an incredible encyclopedia kind of mind he has about that information, almost like some sports fans have about sports, but it's really something. And he has a band called Tom Kenny and the High Seas. And I would urge any fans of SpongeBob or Tom Kenny to explore their website to look for potential concerts nearby you, because they get around and they're a riot. He loves old soul hits. He's a soul shouter, as Paul Schaefer called him. So that's a good thing to know about Tom.
If you have a cold, will you delay voicing Patrick Star?
Great question. One of the beauties of, that's a great awareness. For voiceover work. Since Patrick lives in the basement anyway, vocally, certain afflictions might not impede my ability. However, there is often a healthy amount of screaming. And you really have to get some technique as you work with this stuff so that the screaming doesn't harm you. And if I have to do a lot of screaming, or oddly enough, a lot of laughing, because it's all, if you have to do a lot of that, there's a real process and support system you have to sustain. So the shorter answer would be, I know when I won't be able to deliver 100%. So yeah, I will pass it. And then sometimes I'll say, hey, can we leave the screaming till the end of the recording? And that will be okay. But yeah, this is something very much you have to be conscious of, because you don't want to wind up with 80% of what you should have done.
That would lead me to my next question. What's more exhausting, voice acting or live acting? Live acting
I can tell you, when you're doing comedy in front of an audience, it is so invigorating. If the comedy's working, it is so much fun. A good example of the difference there. I don't know if anyone's ever walked along Hollywood Boulevard. Sometimes there are people with clipboards saying, hey, you want to see the taping of a TV show? They are looking for people often to go in to watch a pilot of a show that's never been seen before. And our first season of Coach, no one knew the show. So very often there was a business called Audience Plus that would bring they're paying people I don't know what they give them, a bag lunch. I don't know what it is, but they get people to come in and watch a TV show. And during that period, you got to grab a joke by the neck, strangle it, lift it up in the air, throw it down on the ground. You jump up and down on that joke. you make sure that people know it's a joke. And then once the show's established, so now the audience is populated by people who like the characters and like the humor, then your character enters and they're just going, oh, here's Dauber. They're ready for humor from the character, and that's just exhilarating. That's so great. It's, I would say, far more difficult to do comedy on camera with no audience. That's really tricky. I mean, you can just nail a joke, and if you get a smirk from the camera assistant, it's a home run. They very often a group of writers will be on the set, and so they can give you a live response in terms of laughter. But it's comedy with no audience is, I believe that film comedy is the hardest thing to do easily.
We have 3 final questions, and I'll go with this one. Do you ever just pop into the voice somewhere and surprise people, and they're like, hey, you sound just like Patrick Star, but you don't actually tell them that you're Patrick Star?
I'm a bit more of a ninja about that. I will, if I'm walking down the street and some kid's wearing a Patrick shirt, as we pass, I'll go, nice shirt, and I'll just keep walking. So I don't know what happens. Maybe the kid thinks that, Patrick just walked by him. I don't know.
Is that sometimes difficult because you know that you are the voice of Patrick Star, but I don't know how many people associate your face with Patrick Star. They associate your voice, but is that something that can be difficult as somebody that records your voice and it's out there and and the people that know, but I'm saying a common fan might actually not know your face and put that to Patrick?
That's one of the beautiful things about voiceover is the physical anonymity of it. It really is special, especially when you're doing a character's voice that you have kind of created. It's kind of like with Dauber. I was able to create a voice for Dauber. That's why whoever was developing that cartoon said, oh, I want this dog to sound like that guy on that sitcom about college football. So I don't, I love that. I love that. Because, when you're 6'6" and walking around, you don't really need, people to recognize you because you're too big anyway.
Big is beautiful. Big is beautiful. Come on.
Final question, and everybody check out the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants in theaters, December 18th. I'm a massive SpongeBob fan. So, Bill, this has been awesome for me. But my final question to you is, and it's such a cliche question, but do you have a favorite all-time joke or line from your character that you still laugh about when you think about it? Because it was written so perfectly.
Let's see. For my character, the one that just like blew my mind when I saw it in the storyboard when I was preparing for the record was the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. And then in the storyboard, it showed the visual of a live action pitcher of milk spilling its contents. As Patrick said that, and he goes right into the one tooth open mouth drool afterwards. That was fantastic. But maybe my favorite line of all time is directly tied to the performance of Roger Bumpus, who does Squidward. And that's in the pilot, where SpongeBob, to Squidward's consternation, is applying for a job at the Krusty Krab, which is where Squidward already works. And he's really worried that Mr. Krabs is going to hire him. And then he hears Mr. Krabs not taking SpongeBob seriously and sending him on a fool's errand, saying, I want you to go get me a spatula, boy, with the turbos, attachments, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And hydro, blah, 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 and SpongeBob, yes, sir. And he takes off. And then Squidward walks up to Krabs and says, hydro, what? Oh, Mr. Krabs, you're horrible. That line blew my mind. And Roger's performance is so perfect. Yeah, there's so many moments. It still makes me laugh. Patrick still makes me laugh.
Bill, thank you so much for the time. We are massive fans. Us,
thank you.
Their kids, they're massive fans. This has been a real thrill for us. So the SpongeBob movie, search for SquarePants, December 18th. Bill, thank you. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Happy holidays, you guys.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Bye, Bill. Okay, one more story each. What do you have?
One more story. All right, I've got divisional races down the home stretch of the season, man. We've got some good stuff going on.
What's the one you like the best? What's the most competitive, exciting divisional race in your mind?
Well, you got to go with the NFC West right now, right? I mean, especially considering
best teams.
Rams 11-3, Seahawks 11-3, 49ers 10-4. It could go any which way down the stretch. And this weekend, Rams and Seahawks, or Thursday, they play.
One of them's going to lose. That means 49ers take care of business. 49ers against the Colts? Let's go.
I mean,
they're trying to make $22,000.
That one's pretty interesting here. I think the AFC South is an interesting one because you got the Jags at 10-4. Texans are 9-5, and I think that
Texans are good.
They're good.
Their defense is so good.
Defense is the best in the league.
Their defense is
and
so
then the
good.
Colts, Phillip Rivers almost pulled it off.
They're done,
dude.
though.
I don't know.
They're done. It's fun to see Phillip Rivers. Again, I just want if someone called you today and said, can you give us, because Phillip Rivers threw 10 times, had 10 completions or so, threw for like 100 yards. Could you play?
Oh, I could still go out there and play.
How's the arm?
It's feeling better and better by the moment. I mean, I could still rip it around, let's be honest. And the reason I say that is because I'm constantly throwing a ball with my kids. Like, they want to go out and throw. That's all I'm doing. Now, it's not an NFL football. It might take me a second. I'm not going to run like I used to, but I could still get you a few good yards on third down. Yeah, but that's not happening. Nobody called me. They didn't even think of me.
I do like the NFC West, though.
NFC West is awesome.
Fun. That's such a fun division over on that side. And the fact that there are so many good teams.
Right.
It's wide open.
It's wide open. I don't know if it's wide open.
It's wide open.
It's pretty wide open.
Look, you got 3 right there that could all win it.
3 right there.
I'm not discounting the Eagles, even though they've sucked. I'm not discounting the Eagles because they've been so many times. Like, it's just about getting there.
Right. They always seem to hit a little skid where they don't play their best ball. It just has been.
And the Bears.
A lot. The Bears. That's another division too, right? You got the Bears
and the
at
Packers.
10-4.
That's what I'm
Packers
saying.
Packers at 9-4.
There's so many NFC
teams. And the Lions,
teams.
who's a really good team, but they've given up over 500 yards on the defensive side of the ball for 2 weeks in a row. That's a lot of yardage to be giving up. If they could stop anybody, but they're a really good team. That's another good division.
I don't know that there's a clear-cut winner in the NFC. I mean, the Rams are the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't be surprised by Rams, Bears, even the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Packers, or the Lions. If they got to the Super Bowl, I'm not going to be shocked. Any of those teams.
I know that's the exciting part for the NFL. I think this year there's probably more parity, like we talked about a few weeks ago. It's just there's not that dominant team that you think, okay, 100%, this team is going to probably go to the Super Bowl and win it all.
Tampa Bay is a struggle.
They're struggling.
It's a struggle.
That division is struggling.
And they're going to play the Panthers twice. I think if they win one of the two, I think their odds to make the playoffs are very high. This week's a big week for them because they are playing Carolina. Then they play a team that doesn't matter. I don't know if they play week 2. They play the Panthers again, so it's one of those 2 out of 3 weeks.
Right. They're both 7-7.
What do you see?
Dolphins.
They could win all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's up with Baker? I mean, is this a long-term hurt? They're not saying he's hurt.
But he looks it.
But yeah, something's up. The eyeball test screams something's up.
Right.
Because he's also not playing as aggressive as he normally plays. And when he does get aggressive, it seems like he's a third of a step slow.
Yeah, I don't think he could maintain that type of aggressiveness that he had from early in the season because he was taking so many shots and making a ton of plays with his legs, but he was getting hit constantly, and that takes its toll over the course of a season. There's no doubt about it, and he's a tough guy, but something's going on. I'd agree with you.
If we're looking at the current seedings right now, this will be my final point.
Mm-hmm.
Over in the AFC, the Broncos at 1, the Patriots at 2. The Broncos are probably going to be the 1 seed.
I would think that they're probably.
Man, that Bills loss, guys, that sucked for you guys.
Yeah. They've got a big one this week, and the Patriots do because they got the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the Ravens have been lights out this year.
Recently,
by any means,
they've been playing a lot better.
Yeah, they just beat Cincy,
24-0.
24-0. It's a tough day at the office for Cincy, but
right now the Jags will be the 3.
Yep.
The Steelers will be the 4 because that is a weak division. But if you win it,
you're in.
Yeah, you get a home game.
Yeah.
Chargers at 5. I do not believe. I think the AFC is so much weaker. I think here's my comparison. The AFC now is the Big Ten, and the NFC is the SEC.
I could see that.
And I think I'm flipping from where I was earlier in the year because there's just a lot of consistency with these strong NFC teams. And the AFC is so top heavy, but I don't even believe in the top. Like, I don't believe in the Broncos. I believe that they're 12-2 and they've really played well. If I had to pick 5 teams to win the Super Bowl, I don't know they're my top 5 teams. I don't believe in the Patriots. I root for the Patriots. They're a good team, but they're so young. I don't believe in the Patriots.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting with the AFC too is you probably would sit there and if looking at all those teams and saying who, because you haven't got to them yet.
The Bills. That's the only team I believe in. And right now they're the 6th seed. That's the only team I believe in.
It's the team you believe in.
And
why?
Let's be honest, Josh Allen. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quarterback league.
And there's no Patrick Mahomes in the AFC this year. There could be no Lamar Jackson in the AFC
They're
playoff
9
this year.
now. They're almost going to have to win the division, right?
Yeah.
For them to get in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Colts ain't making it. The AFC is pretty much in at this point. Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars, Steelers at 4, Chargers at 5, Bills at 6, Texans at 7. Now, there could be some movement there in the 7, 6, 5, but those are really the teams. Over in the NFC side, it's like I mentioned earlier, I believe in a lot of these teams. Rams, believe in them. Bears, I believe in the Bears more than I do the Broncos. And those two teams are very similar to me in
both second-year quarterbacks.
Both have outperformed what I felt like the expectation was of them. Even though I think people thought the Broncos would win, I don't think they thought they'd win like this.
No, but I think
people
that
were
the Broncos,
confused on the Bears.
Yeah, the Broncos defense, I would say, is at a different level than what the Bears are.
The Eagles, I know at times they've really struggled. You're just not going to convince me that they can't win a playoff game. I've just seen them do it too many times.
Right, and
I've seen them win a Super Bowl and be at a Super Bowl.
A majority of those guys were on that team last year. Lane Johnson should be back for playoffs, correct? Which would be a huge boost. They've been there, they've done that, and until somebody goes out and beats them and knocks them out, then I still think Philadelphia is a dangerous team when it comes to playoffs.
I don't believe in the Bucs.
Nope.
The Seahawks, I think I'm not going to put them in the believe category. If Sam Darnold wins this week, I'm going to have a little more belief, but they're a really good team.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm just mentally crippled by the fact that Darnold did not play well those games last year.
Right.
I do believe in the 49ers.
49ers are a dangerous team too. You know, I think that that NFC West is very similar to what the AFC North was last year, right? With the Vikings, the Lions, Green Bay, 3 teams that, wasn't it Green Bay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All 3 of those teams were, 14, 13 wins, something like that?
Yeah.
Fighting for the division at the end of the year?
The Lions aren't in that division, though, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Packers, Bears.
The Lions?
Yeah.
Isn't that cold enough?
I was correct, right?
Well, they're indoor.
I know.
I'm just making sure I'm correct.
They shouldn't be in that division. It's not cold enough.
It's not cold enough. They're indoors.
The NFC, can you bet just NFC or AFC?
There's got to be a bet. Are you kidding me?
Because I think I would bet NFC, except unless they play the Bills. Would that be a way to bet that?
There's probably a parlay that you can get on for sure.
I bet all NFC unless it's the Bills, and then I think I bet the Bills to win the Super Bowl if the Bills make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because the quarterback is the biggest game changer.
He is by far the biggest game changer. Oh, Stafford too. Stafford's probably going to be MVP.
Yeah, but who would you rather have, Stafford or Josh Allen? Because I'm still going with Josh Allen.
Yeah, his dual threat capabilities are off.
It's close.
The charts. It's really close
It's
because
close.
Stafford as a pure passer is probably the best in the game and one of the best I've ever been around. And then Josh Allen, he's at another level. If you gather his skill set and put it into a box, you'd say, this is what an MVP, best quarterback in the league looks like. It's this guy right here. Just his sheer size, his ability to run the ball, rocket for an arm, and now he's a great decision maker as well with less talent.
What do you see?
Yeah, you can bet winning conference.
Oh,
I would have to imagine the NFC is the favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Is it minus?
Yep.
Minus 130.
40.
Minus 140?
Mm-hmm.
So plus 150?
115.
115?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Go
Yeah,
AFC.
NFC strong. I don't even like the NFC. I'm a big AFC guy.
Big AFC guy?
Well,
Yeah.
you're SEC guy, not a Big Ten guy, right? Same thing. Because you said the NFC is Big
Yeah,
Ten.
yeah.
That's where his roots are.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to friggin' Patrick Starr for stopping by the show.
Such
How awesome was that
stud.
interview?
It was great.
So much fun. Guys, you can watch this. The NFL Network puts it up on the YouTube page if you want to watch this. And yeah, we appreciate everybody who's been a listener of the show all throughout the year. Next week, you know who we have on? Take one guess. One guess because you already know.
Scott Hansen.
That's right.
From the Red Zone.
That's correct.
Be here in the witching hour.
That's right.
Yeah, babe.
Man, that witching hour's nuts though, because crap does happen.
It always happens. And it's going bing, boom, 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 boom.
But like stupid stuff happens.
Yeah.
Where wins become losses, and losses, you want to jump off your porch and break your neck because you just lost a bunch of money. Oh, is that just me? Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many people are watching that? You've got fantasy's one thing, but the people that are betting, like to cover, to do whatever they're betting, are just screaming at that television.
Fantasy big too. Because fantasy
huge.
playoffs started last week, and our big money league, I got the bye. I was the number one overall seed, so I got a bye.
A buddy of mine said that he plays in this league with you. Are you with the Klugs?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine, Preston, came up and said, I'm in a league with your boy, Bobby. Dude, he's really good. And he's calculated. And then I started looking at his moves. I'm like, why is he doing that? Should I be doing that? Like, it was so funny. I was like, so has he won this? He's like, dude, I think he's won it like 3 years in a row.
Well, I'm the.
I could totally see him.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate. I am good every year.
Yes, of course you are.
No, not of course. I put time and effort and energy, and I'm always backing up my bench. I think a lot of people don't focus on the players they're never going to play because they're never going to play until you have to have somebody.
Right. You get a bye. Or somebody gets hurt and you go,
And I have handcuffs to my best. So again, I don't win every season because it's one game and you're out. Yeah. So I got to buy first week of the playoffs. Second week of the playoffs is this week. I'm the number one overall seed, but I'm playing a team that got really hot. But yeah, I watch the freaking witching hours when I lose everything. I never win in the witching hour, ever.
Is there anything worse than say it's your running back, makes a really long run down to the 3-yard line, and then all of a sudden they substitute him out and the other guy scores and you go, no.
The worst.
No.
The worst. Yes. Okay, we are done. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. That's Matt Castle. That's Kickoff Kevin. That's Brandon Ray. I'm Bobby Bones. We'll see you next week. We've had lots to say. Bye, everybody.